I'm here to tell you about how we're actually going to introduce vision processing into the display world and improve your display viewing experience beyond what you have today. And in fact, in vehicles where displays are going to dominate your experience, make it safer. So displays are going to transform your driver user experience. In fact, it's going to be the #1 factor in brand differentiation for automotive OEMs. There's going to be more and bigger displays in vehicles. This represents also a huge challenge because the content on those screens is actually not seen as intended. In fact, what happens in the latest displays, as you can see here, is a challenge on seeing that content in the sun in particular. That causes a safety issue. It's really, though, an industry-level challenge. So there are two major ingredients. One is the manufacturing environment for these displays doesn't actually equal the viewing environment, which is the car. In addition to that, the content creators making that content make it in a studio environment and for their own eyes, which is typically the eyes of a 25 to 35-year-old. But we're not all that age, and we're, of course, viewing the content in very difficult driving conditions. What IRYStec has introduced is a novel new piece of the puzzle for the display viewing experience. We call it Perceptual display platform, which is essentially dynamically adjusting the content to improve that viewing experience, marrying the physiology of how our eyes work in the sun and at nighttime with lightweight image processing algorithms, along with the knowledge of the underlying hardware technology to deliver a superior user experience at what we call the point of perception. So we can take, on the left-hand side, this very washed-out display experience that you see in the vehicle, in fact, an unsafe experience for you, and at lower power, lower heat, we store the color and contrast of the content, almost magically make it more visible. This has huge benefits in the vehicle. So one is, of course, improved visibility in the sunlight, which is key. This is the #1 problem the OEMs are trying to solve. Reduced impact on your night vision makes it easier and less strain on your eyes for the passengers. And, of course, a huge benefit, reduced heat, power, and cost of the panel. Now, this is also becoming a very strategically important piece of the puzzle. The content rendering is at the center of a big battle for the viewing on those screens. So the big players that are trying to get into the car, like Google and Netflix, want to deliver that content to you. The OEMs are trying to defend their turf, and the content rendering engine is the key piece of the puzzle. It is the piece that will determine the user experience. As an example, the Daimler CEO says they want to own that real estate in the vehicle. They're not going to give that up easily. They need all the tools or weapons in their arsenal to control that user experience. And in fact, the CDO at Daimler has said that the screens are the new horsepower, not the engine. It's a huge market. Of course, our technology can be used anywhere there is a display, and there are 2.5 billion display devices manufactured in the world, and that actually translates to about $1 billion in software licensing revenue per year. It's also a growing market. In automotive alone, which is where we're focused right now, where the big pain point exists, it's about a $350 million annual recurring revenue stream for IRYStec. We have very significant sales traction. More than 6 of the major automotive OEMs are in production projects with IRYStec today. You'll see it in production next year. But we're not stopping there. We're going to actually put this in motorcycles, micromobility, mopeds, and of course buses, aircraft, and trains next year. Of course, beyond that, we'll just move that technology into your consumer devices where you'll want to have it. We're led by a very strong leadership team, including our brilliant founder, Tara Akavan, as our CTO. And we're now going into our growth phase, looking for a new round of financing of $8 to $10 million. Come and see me at our booth if you're interested.